Welcome into this live edition of Locked On 76ers. Mark Farzetta flying solo. Keith Pompey still on vacation for the holiday. But I am homebound and watched every second of this game. And I can't wait to break it all down with you on this edition of Locked On 76ers.
You are Locked On 76ers, your daily Philadelphia 76ers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And we do thank you for making Locked On 76ers your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This particular episode is brought to you by the Gametime app. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use promo code Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. So let's just say it. Let's just say what happened here. And what happened here is the Philadelphia 76ers rookie dominated Ace Bailey, the rookie of the Utah Jazz, with great ease tonight above all else. This was a high-flying affair for VJ Edgecombe. 28 points tonight, 10 rebounds, works in the double-double. Absolutely a thing of beauty for him tonight. Everything that we thought, there's two things that went into this game tonight that I thought really echoed the sentiment that had been made about both these players going into the draft and just coming out of the draft and going into this game tonight. VJ Edgecombe, definitely the more NBA-ready talent. That's what we knew going into this one. That's what we got more evidence to support that theory with the 28-point, 10-rebound type game that he was able to put in tonight. The other is that Ace Bailey can look disinterested. And boy, did Ace Bailey look disinterested. I don't know if he thought that there's a second half or not. He had 1 point, 7 in the first half, 1 point in the second half tonight. And that was when he got one free throw, when he just happened to be put back into the game with about a minute left. That's terrible. Not even a minute left. 6 minutes left, or excuse me, 6 seconds left, I think. That's embarrassing if you're Ace Bailey. Embarrassing. And if you went into the draft and said, no, VJ Edgecombe has definitely got to be the guy, well, this is a very nice start for that argument. I look, above all, you can look at the numbers, you can look at the box score, and all that's impressive. All that looks good for VJ Edgecombe. But all in all tonight, there was one particular instance where him and Harkless started to go at it a little bit. I mean, really, Harkless was going after him. And VJ Edgecombe just walked away from it. And then on the very next play, which was an inbound play, side out of bounds, VJ Edgecombe takes Harkless off the dribble, takes him to the rim, and then he has an easy kick out to Janai Broome for the knockdown three. Like, poise, professionalism, maturity. Kind of the things we weren't saying about Ace Bailey, but are saying about VJ Edgecombe, we saw it in this game. Very versatile as he was scoring tonight. Very versatile, really, in his game in total. Sixers had him bringing the ball up quite a bit. He was able to beat the full court press in one instance using the screen, so it was a good heads-up move by him. Very aggressive on the baseline, very aggressive in attacking the rim. Had the one-hand throwdown where he went coast to coast on it, and he had 2 or 3 of those types of plays where he was able to go coast to coast. The loudest finish that he had, though, was that first throwdown that he had in the first quarter. Absolutely unbelievable. And there was one point when VJ Edgecombe wasn't necessarily outshining Ace Bailey tonight, and that was in the first quarter. Bailey got off to a pretty decent start, knocked down a 3, got a rebound off of VJ Edgecombe, missed 3, ran that down the other end, and he got the easy 2. Then on the next possession for the Sixers, VJ Edgecombe goes down, nice little teardrop shot, and I think that was for his 7th and 8th points of the game. But all in all, you saw exactly what you wanted to see from the Sixers' 3rd overall pick. And for anyone that was questioning what you would see, I wasn't sure what you were going to see tonight. I figured you would see something close to this, but I didn't imagine 28 points. And if he just would have knocked down that 3, would have been a game-tying 3 that they had the inbounds play to him. Got a look, not a great look, but got a look, got a shot off. Put it off the back of the rim, unfortunately. Otherwise, game would be tied. He'd be at 31 points on the evening. That would have been absolutely bonkers. But watching him play tonight, the number one thing that jumps out at me is the athleticism, but you saw that at Baylor. Ball handling certainly needs some work. Didn't go crazy with turnovers, 2 turnovers in the game. But what you saw from him tonight was a guy that really wanted to be out there and doing exactly what he loves to do the most, which is play the game of basketball. And for the people that were on the Ace Bailey side of things going into the draft, look, let's just get this out of the way for the people that need to hear the obvious. This does not, one summer league game does not define a career, but we're judging it right now in this moment just for what it is, which is, if you were the person that wanted to take VJ Edgecombe, you didn't want to roll the dice, as they say, with Ace Bailey, well, then this performance tonight is exactly what you would be expecting. When you go back to the words of maturity, professionalism, VJ Edgecombe absolutely had that going for him in this game tonight from start to finish. And even if he had a play where he mishandled the ball, he did turn it over, maybe made a bad read, but try to force something, came right back down and made another play. Never took his head out of the game. And that's the maturity you're talking about with a player like this. And the fact that he has this kind of athleticism to go along with it is something spectacular. Now, I mentioned earlier him and Harkless kind of having some words. This was a very chippy basketball game. This was for a summer league game in Utah. This was a very chippy game. And VJ Edgecombe wouldn't get sucked into it. Dembona was having some fun with it. Janai Broom was having some fun with it. Hood Schifino was having some fun with it. Justin Edwards a little bit. But all in all, you just watched VJ Edgecombe go into this game with a great head on his shoulders, execute well, always stay within himself. I never felt like he was in over his head. And all I ask from any rookie in any sport is when you get your first taste at the professional level of what you're going to be doing, even summer league, get your first taste, just look like you belong. And VJ Edgecombe absolutely not only looked like he belonged, he was the best player on the floor. Now, is it unfortunate that they lost? Yes, okay, they lost. I'm not doing W's and L's for summer league. I'm doing player evaluation. And VJ Edgecombe stole the headlines today. By far stole the headline. Ace Bailey was barely in the fourth quarter at all. And I was curious because at about the 4-minute mark, I hadn't seen VJ Edgecombe in the fourth quarter. I was like, he was taken out. And I'm starting to wonder, are they not going to play him? Bailey's not in. VJ Edgecombe's not in. Why are these guys not playing? If these guys are supposed to be future franchise guys, why not get them in at the end of the game? What's going on here? VJ Edgecombe came in, did his thing in the fourth quarter. Ace Bailey didn't come in until the waning seconds of the fourth quarter. VJ Edgecombe was a guy that obviously could be trusted in the situation. Came up with that one big miss, but like I said, the defense was great on him. Wasn't the best look in the world. Would have been pretty incredible if he would have knocked it down. And then it wouldn't have mattered because they were still down 4. He threw up the half-court shot a couple steps in from half court just for one last heave, and unfortunately that one didn't fall. But it would have been nice for padding the stats a little bit more. Looking over my notes, I want to make sure. Also, I'm going to be going to the chat as well. I'm going to be talking to you guys. I want to know what you guys have to say about this one as well. I want your reaction to it. But first thing I noticed, VJ Edgecombe bringing the ball up about the 2:45 mark of the first quarter. He came back into the game after a little layoff there. Bailey had the missed 3. VJ had the missed 3 down on the other end. VJ was able to pull up for a nice baseline jumper, very controlled, was able to do that in the first quarter. Second quarter, missed a corner 3, unfortunately, but then hit a jumper from the elbow. A nice little cut there. Bailey had a similar play as well in that second quarter. Moving ahead now. So end of the first half, he's got 13 points at the end of the first half. 6 of 13 shooting in the first half. Even hit a 3. VJ Edgecombe did 1 for 4 from beyond the arc. 4 rebounds, 1 steal, did have the 2 turnovers. But that was pretty much it. Everything else was falling into place for him as that was going on. So also sense ball went off for them. Going into the third quarter there, Bailey comes up with the block on the defensive end of things. VJ comes down the other end with a real nice floater, 3-foot floater. Another layup for him to get his 18th and 19th points of the game for VJ. Had a shot blocked by Sensabaugh, but again, came down on the other end and made another play. So he never had his head out of the basketball game. A nice pull-up jumper from the top of the key, just about a step in from a 3, about the 2:19 mark of the third quarter. Fourth quarter, again, VJ, just the VJ Edgecombe show, pretty much. The great feed to Bona. Bona played great tonight. I'll talk about him a little bit later, but had a great feed to Bona. Read that play perfectly. Gave it to Bona. Thread the needle through the lane. Bona threw it down. Block on the defensive end. Brought it down for an N1 situation. Absolutely fantastic. Everything I wanted to see from VJ Edgecombe tonight, I saw. And anything that I saw that I didn't like was already stuff that I knew he needed to work on and stuff that we have talked about. We've talked about it, us here with the comments, the chat. We've talked about it with Keith as well. Can't wait to hear what Keith has to say about this when we're back in studio on Monday to hash this one out. But all in all, I just loved what I saw tonight from VJ Edgecombe. Love what I saw tonight for the most part from Adem Bona. Eight fouls. Happy Summer League. 8 fouls for Adem Bona in the game. But I love this. This was a lot of fun to watch. The athleticism at the Summer League level, just to get to see that, not just at Baylor, but the Summer League level now. He answered the call. And if you remember, one of the things that I talked about with Keith this week was, look, this isn't Game 7 of the NBA Finals. This isn't the biggest deal in the world, but you're only going to have your professional debut once. And everybody knows going into this game, it's Ace Bailey versus VJ Edgecombe. Who's going to rise to the top? Unquestionably, VJ Edgecombe threw a haymaker at Ace Bailey and knocked him out in this game. This was no contest. You know, like easiest call you could possibly make. It wasn't close. This was a blowout in the favor of VJ Edgecombe over Ace Bailey. So I'd love to know what you guys have to say about this one. I'm going to take your comments coming up in a second. This is a instant reaction, shortened version of Locked On 76ers. Back after this on the Locked On 76ers YouTube channel. You guys have heard us talking plenty about the Gametime app. Oh, they're fantastic. When you talk about the Gametime app, you want to go to the game, the concert, the comedy show, whatever the case might be, Gametime app has you covered. Gametime makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop the closer you get to showtime. Or maybe you want to go to a baseball game, for instance, closer you get to first pitch. You can save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Tired of the endless scrolling, trying to find the best deal? Gametime Zone Deals. Pick the best seats in your section for you. How great is that? Gametime, price you love with Gametime. Worried about what happens if plans change? Gametime Guarantee has your back with cancellation protection and so much more. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Showtime tickets with the Gametime app. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. That's promo code LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Before I get into the comments here and see what you guys have to say about this one, I do want to shout out a couple other guys. Adem Bona, I mentioned earlier, 16 points for him, 8 rebounds. Every ounce. He even pulled up for, he only pulled up for 1 3. I thought he pulled up for 2 threes. Pulled up for a 3, clank, unfortunately. But 16 points, 8 rebounds, had a block, had a steal. He looked like a guy that wanted all the smoke tonight. When he was playing underneath, he looked like he wanted absolutely every ounce of the smoke. Justin Edwards, by the way, was on Ace Bailey through most of the night. Justin Edwards played 31 minutes, though, tonight. Ace Bailey played 25. Edwards, 13 points in the game. I didn't think he looked particularly great. But then again, there was one guy that looked great, and that was Edgecombe, obviously. Other than that, for the Sixers, Jedi Broom did a lot of stuff that you saw him do at Auburn. He did it in this game, tried to get on the blocks, tried to play some bully ball, knocked down that 3 that I mentioned earlier on the feed for VJ Edgecombe when he took Harkless to the rack. It was some good stuff there throughout the game. I mentioned shot selection before when breaking down VJ Edgecombe going into the draft and just coming out of it. One thing that you do need to focus on as well is the volume shooting. 28 points for 27 shots for 28 points is a bit much. But what you saw from him was a guy that just played with absolute confidence. But Broom, Bona, and Edgecombe are really the guys that stuck out to me tonight. All right, let's get your comments in on this for Locked On 76ers. Want to see what you guys have to say about this one. What do we got going on here? 3-time. What's going on? VJ look good? Elliot, VJ Ant Edgecombe. I know where you're going with that. Broom surprised me a bit. Good ball. Yeah, Anthony, I agree with that. Look, I thought you saw, if you watched him at Auburn at all and you saw him play in this game, there was a lot of things stylistically that he did similarly. The big difference is now you're playing against dudes. Like you're playing against men. Now, these are younger guys too, but still guys like Harkless, for instance, 25 years old? And these guys are getting into scraps. Yeah, I thought he showed you a lot of what he did at Auburn, but just did it at the next level. So good for him. Oz, he looked pretty good, actually. Number 77, he absolutely did. James, Ace is okay. Look, I'm an Ace Bailey guy. I wanted Ace Bailey over VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe having a 28-point game. Cool. All right, we're talking about NBA careers, and I'm not judging one summer league game for a whole career. But with the evidence that's presented tonight, the VJ Edgecombe people are now. I didn't hate VJ Edgecombe. I didn't think it was a terrible pick. I didn't think it was awful. Whatever. This game tonight, there's no question who was the bigger star tonight. VJ destroyed Ace, says Bree. Thanks for canceling, Ace. Ace canceled the Sixers workout and then canceled playing in the second half of this game. Smoking Ace Bailey back. Valdez coming. That's right. Jason A. What's up, Jason A? Farzy, VJ looks insane good. We haven't had athleticism like that in a long time. Maxey isn't this good with his footwork, and he's only 19. I mean, sheer athleticism, yeah, I'll go VJ Edgecombe, but Maxey came into the league with great footwork. Pure athleticism, no, VJ's got that. But as I always say, we're not doing a decathlon here. We're playing basketball. So I'm not going to go that far with it, but I see what you're saying. Bono was killing, almost literally, 8 fouls. Is that what did he get another one? 8 fouls! Robert, what's going on? Sixers couldn't hit their threes and got out-rebounded. VJ had a great game. Yeah, that's fine. Danny Prado, what's going on? Playing both sides of the ball. He absolutely was young. Just get a better handle and mid-range jumper. Young, you know what was great about that tonight? I haven't looked at his shot chart yet. If I can even, do they have that for me? They do. One of the things that was really wild for me is that he did have a couple of bunnies that he knocked down. That step in from 3, VJ Edgecombe had tonight. That was pretty damn good. Nice little baseline shot he had for himself also. Couple of floaters in the paint. Elbow. 18-foot jumper he knocked down. Yeah. No, I thought the mid-range game for VJ Edgecombe tonight was good. Farzy show sometime after 6:30. Thank you. All our point guards can't dribble, says Marky B. Well, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about VJ Edgecombe just in this game. Just in this game. He's playing out of position, and that's on purpose. And Keith and I got into this throughout the week. This is what they're asking him to do. They're saying, yeah, shot selection, handle, all that. But also make sure that when you're playing the point guard position, you don't turn the basketball over and you play within yourself. I thought he did that tonight. Wow, DC Marley. Bona gives me Sean Kemp vibes. Does Bona have any kids yet? No? Okay. He's got a long way to go. No, but in all honesty, like explosiveness, Sean Kemp is but vibes is the word you're using. You're not saying he is, you're using vibes, and I could see that. I could see that. VJ is the one, says Alden. Oh, talking about summer league guards. Got you, Marky B. Aubrey, what's going on? Shake my head. VJ is a great player and has vision, but not a point guard. No, I am a very big subscriber to the thought that point guards aren't coached, they're born. That's kind of the mentality I have when it comes to point guards. BC, what are you doing? Go Lakers? Seriously? Why? Timothy B, hey, Farzetta, missed you earlier on Locked On Phillies. Watched some of the highlights from the Summer League game. Edgecombe looked as good as stated. He looks confident and sure. Well, there you go. The Phillies won too. So there you go. Or no, I shouldn't say the Phillies won too. Phillies won. Sixers lost. But VJ Edgecombe won, as far as I'm concerned. Wait, what's this? King, not going to lie. I wish we didn't have, Paul George or Joel now. I'm all in on the youth movement. Oh, I'm in on the youth movement. If you guys have been following me now with Locked On 70, you guys know full well I'm in on the youth movement. All in on the youth movement. Some have labeled me the opposite of optimistic. I label me a realist. I can't read that one, but I just saw it. I think you know which one it was. Love Christ. In fairness, Ace only took 13 shots. Yeah, Ace, let me get this right, because when did he check back into that game? Bailey. He checked out at 6:07. And yeah, check back in at 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Dawood, what's going on? I like Broom too. I liked Broom as well. Jazz benched Ace. Adem Kemp. Okay, I'm in. But Brian Pupper, I can't be too positive. Well, why not? This is something we can be positive about. By the way, I wanted Ace as well, so we shall see. We shall see. Okay, Fred. Nobody cares that they lost. The only thing that matters is that VJ Edgecombe looked great. Ace Bailey, not so much. Maxi's faster for sure. There we go. I agree. Summer League, ha, ha, ha. Yes, it's Summer League. We've all admitted that this is Summer League. That's like the person that is like talking about, I don't know, football, and they're just like, well, yeah, I mean, if they stay healthy. Oh, thank you for adding that, because 10 guys get hurt. They still win. But it's rigged. But everyone good? I think everyone's good. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great, as per usual. All right. Keith is going to be back from vacation by Monday, so we'll be back doing a normal Locked On 76ers, not just this instant reaction to the 76ers' first Summer League game. Ace Bailey and VJ Edgecombe going after it in this Summer League game. Sixers are going to have another Summer League game. I believe their next game is Monday. But how about this? ESPN had this game tonight. If you watched on ESPN had this game. And by the way, the NBA, how much money is the NBA worth? Can't get a decent camera? Can't get a decent main camera in Summer League? Anyway. So they're going to be back at it Monday. And Keith Pompey and I will be back at it Monday for Locked On 76ers. Hey, in the meantime, make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On 76ers. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on Locked On 76ers. I'm Mark Farzetta. Me and Keith Pompey will be back with you guys on Monday. Like I said, make sure you guys like and subscribe to all things Locked On Sports. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Back with you guys on Monday. See you then.